Racing on Sunday takes place out at Turffontein. We are racing on the stand-side track. 8 races on the program, which means that race number 1 will be the start of the bipod at 12:30 of the 1400-meter trip. And joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen. Alistair, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Raheel. Still reveling in the events of Thursday, where the place accumulator was tipped on this show and returned a very useful dividend. I think it was an 8-1 return on the place accumulator, which obviously went down very, very well. We're less than a week from the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. A lot of punters, a lot of racing followers now that the card is out. We'll be looking to connect a lot of all-to-comes, a lot of doubles, trebles, multiples going into Africa's greatest horse race, and there might be a few options on this Sunday card, so really looking forward to it. It's obviously extremely busy week coming up, but we love it. That's why we do it, and it's obviously the most important day on the South African racing calendar by quite a margin.
There's certainly lots of excitement in KZN, especially with around a week to go until Africa's greatest horse race, the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, and I can't wait for the action to get underway and on Saturday, the 6th of July. But racing on Sunday, race number 1, 1400 meters, maiden juvenile plate to begin the proceedings for us. Number 4, Diwali Rocket is your 11-10 favorite. Number 2, Bacchus is at 28-10. It's 11-2 about Milan's World, 10-1 and Better Baldos. Now, this horse, Diwali Rocket, he showed huge improvement after being gelded, and that form line has held up. There's been 3 runners but 2 winners.
Yep, indeed. Those 2 winners were both beaten by Diwali Rocket in the form of Two-Step Queen and Ikwele. Guerrilla Warfare ran on Thursday at Turffontein. Was a slightly disappointing run from a horse that I think is not all that bad, but I'll give him a vote of confidence going forward, Guerrilla Warfare. Big improvement, as you say. First run as a gelding, first run with blinkers on for the son of Ideal World. He's bred to stay all day. He drops in distance, which would be a little bit of a query, but I think there's something about Diwali Rocket. So the bipod is my bet of choice. He is undoubtedly in, but I'm having a good look at these 2 horses that ran behind Valiva just under a month earlier in the form of Bacchus, number 2, and number 7, Milan's World. Bacchus has got about 2 and a bit lengths to spare with Milan's World, but Milan's World was he was ridden ice cold, but not by any fault of Craig Zaki. The horse just found so much trouble. The story in the starts report shows Bulk between the 250 and the 100. Bulk should actually be in caps because that's how badly bulked he was, and he only let out late and finished off his race very nicely. So what I'm saying is, whatever the 2.5 length margin was then, it won't be 2.5 lengths this time. So wherever one is, I think the other will be right there. Just a word about number 8, Orange County. It's not the pedigree way to win first time out, that we know. But there is a word out about him, and if he doesn't win here, he could be a nice horse to follow going forward. There's been a word out about a Flower Alley colt from Pedigree's yard, and I believe that this is the one. So the bipod, my bet of choice, 2, 4 and 7 on the first day. Very confident we'll survive, but there could be a few horses to follow out of this form line going forward.
Yeah, certainly keep an eye on number 8, Orange County, at around 10-1 in the market. If there is some betting support for him, well, he could certainly be a horse that you need to include into leg 1 of that bipod. Moving along to race number 2, a juvenile plate for fillies over the 1160-meter trip. It is 1:05 the off time, and scratch numbers 3 and 7, so it's a field of just 6 runners that remain. Number 6, Rodeo Drive, is the favorite at 5-10 after running a cracking second in the Allen Robertson behind Quid Pro Quo. It's number 4, Pointer, at 4-1. Barking Glory is at 9-2. It's a Force 8 at 6-1. And then numbers 5 and 8, 20-1 and 25-1 respectively. But Alistair, it should be one horse here that sets a standard, and one horse that they all need to beat. Rodeo Drive should take a power of beating.
Yeah, she's a banker everywhere, I think, Raheel. Craig Zaki's on board for Sean Tarry. Her run in the Alan Robertson at Hollywoodbets Scottsville was out the top draw. She had victory in her sights. In fact, with Quid Pro Quo sort of shifting outwards so violently and losing sight of her in running, it looked like Rodeo Drive had the race sealed. Here we're comparing Grade 1 form with good maiden form. I don't think we can overcomplicate this. The scratching of Poblano is a bit of a pity because I would like to have seen how she backed up that win on debut. Boston Glory didn't beat much, but we know the pedigree ways not to ready them up first time out, so she could improve. Pointer's got something about her, having run behind Force 8 last time, but like I said, Grade 1 form, good Grade 1 form against good maiden form. I know what should win, so that's number 6, Rodeo Drive. Bank on all bets.
Yep, number 6, Rodeo Rodeo Drive should be hard to beat in race number 2. Race number 3, Juvenile Plate, 1160 meters. The start of the pick 6. 13:40 is the off time. Your favorite is number 1, Pistol Pete, even money. It's 17-10 about Bjorn Ironside. Wolf Mountain at 4-1. Copper Cliff 6-1. Number 8, Pearly Ash 25-1, and Chili Bomb at 33-1. Scratch numbers 4 and 7. So it's a field of just 6 runners that remain. And Pistol Pete, he's got 62 kgs on the back. He didn't have the greatest of luck in transit in the gold medallion. He was a bit unlucky in running when 5th behind Proceed. So I think he probably would have finished slightly closer to the action if he had got a clear passage. He must obviously be one of the leading lights, but 62 kgs on the back, slight concern for me.
Yeah, fair comments, but he's also got to show that he's as good over further than 1,000 meters than he is over 1,000 meters. He's unbeaten over 5 furlongs, but every time he steps up in distance, he's just sort of not quite been the same deadly pace and turn of foot that he's demonstrated. And with 4 kilos to give number 2, Bjorn Ironside, I'll sway a little bit towards the Van Vuren runner with Gavin Larena on board. 2 scratchings in this race, so only 6 runners. So in the bar pot, I think you're pretty safe with numbers 1 and 2. And I've gone with both. Place Accumulator, you could probably get away with bankering one or the other. Wolf Mountain probably comes into the conversation as well, but I think he's looking for a touch further, being out of a Silvano men, beating Pibe Doro, who was still a maiden after Thursday. I think that puts things into perspective. So 2, Bjorn Ironside gets the vote of confidence. I like the fact that he started life in Cape Town. He's obviously done a bit of travelling. He's running in the 3 main provinces. Started in Cape Town behind Lion Rampart. Good effort behind a horse that's just gone from strength to strength. He was a trifle disappointing behind 21 May. I thought he just got going a little bit too late, but perhaps just signs of not being sharp enough second run out, and then his win over Bay Empire, where he was an absolute penalty kick, was convincing enough. And just the fact that he's got that edge over 1,160 meters with 4 kilos in his favour, that's the horse I'm going to settle on in the opening leg of the pick 6.
Can we use Simric as a possible line horse here, or is that probably not fair to Bjorn Ironside?
I don't think that's fair to Bjorn Ironside. I'll tell you why. I don't think Kimrick's run at Hollywoodbets Scottsville was his best. I know that the expectations are that he's going to go through the divisions and pick up a few wins, even on the back of his flat run in Maritzburg. So I don't think that's fair, because I don't think we got the best version of Kimrick there.
Number 2, Bjorn Ironside, could just be the one to be with you at around 17-10 with a receipt of 4 kgs from number 1, Pistol Pete. He's guaranteed to go well over the distance as well, so maybe he could be the one that you be with in race number 3. But Pistol Pete, he is certainly a horse that has got lots of ability, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he were to bounce back to winning ways. Moving along to race number 4, Maiden Plate, 1,400 meters the distance, 2:15 the off time. And number 1, There's a Light, is the favorite at 14-10. Number 12, Dylan's Champ, is the second pick, 4-1 into 33-10. It's 15-2 about Gold Fever, 15-2 Press On Regardless, Hermitage, 12-1 and Better Ball. Those now, Fabian Habib has this knack of producing these horses sort of out of nowhere, and the horse that springs to mind is a horse like Tegan's Champ, who rocked up onto the scene. He won his first 3 starts, and I don't think he's been seen since. But this son of Rafif is well related.
Yeah, he's a full brother to William Robertson. And I remember Dylan's Champ at the sales, because obviously his pedigree makes a lot of appeal, being a full brother to a multiple stakes winner in the form of William Robertson. And he was a very lean son of Rafif, but looked very athletic. And only 350,000 is what he cost. So that was a little bit of a mystery at the time. So either he's been stolen at a bargain at 350,000, or he's grown into himself. And if you put him through the ring a few months later, he would have got double that. You spot on, took the words out of my mouth. Tegan's Champ, Dylan's Champ, maybe there's some sort of correlation there. Same yard, majority same owners. Gavin Larena obviously rode Tegan's Champ to victory, I think, more than once, if I'm not mistaken. So he's very interesting, and obviously the fact that the market speaks highly in his favour is definitely something to consider. Number 9, Battle of the Bulge, another first-timer. Muzi takes a ride for the Asmen. The son of Lancaster Bomber, out of a mare that's produced 100% stakes winners to runners. She's a frighteningly good mare's cash register, Mucho De Niro being the recent case in point. Been a long time to get him ready for the races. He's a rising 4-year-old, so that does ring a couple of alarm bells. But but he's very well bred, and now that he's ready to get to the races, I'd suggest that he can run nicely first time out, because the Aussies can get them ready. And the two horses with form that make appeal, number one, There's a Lot, naturally, despite being disappointing and beaten at 4-10 and 9-10 through his career, he's battled to get the job done. He's going to get the job one of these days. He's not a horse that you can follow over a cliff, but he's still a horse that I think can go close enough and well enough and reward punters, certainly from a first three perspective. And then number four, Hermitage, I think is coming back to a better trip. He's got an awful draw to overcome. Craig Zaki takes a ride for the Aussies, and the Aussies have made sure that this race is well and truly alive with three runners in the race. I think Hermitage is not without hope of getting quite close. I've gone all four in my buy pot, 1, 4, 9 and 12, but there's no doubt the most interesting runners are the first-timers.
Yeah, I think number 12 is the right horse in the race. Gavin Larina doesn't ride for Fabian Abebo on just any first time, and given that Fabian has decided to get Gavin for this, I think that there could be something about this horse, Dylan's Champ, and he's already found a bit of betting support. I suspect he's going to shorten even further in the market, but we'll certainly keep an eye on the betting market. Race number 5, Maiden Plate Fillies and Mares, 1,400 meters the trip, 14:55 the off time, and race 5 is the start of Jackpot 2. Number 14, Key Worker, is your 14-10 favorite. Number 9, Autumn Bar at 9-2. It's 9-2 about number 1, Mary Reed. Do It With Diamonds, 11-2, and then it's 16-1. And Better Bar those. Now, it's a big field at lineup for the start of Jackpot 2. But this filly Key Worker, last time out, just found one too good in the form of Olivia's Way. I think she's improving nicely, and I think with those 2 starts under the belt, she would have learned quite a bit about racing. Stand-side track, I think, will suit her quite nicely. Even though dropping in trip, I think she's going to be hard to beat.
Fourth sister to Surcharge, who of course was trained by Pettigrew as well. Look, she's my top choice. She was very close to being a banker. I've gone 2 horses in my buy pot. Number 2, Do It With Diamonds, is my backup to number 14, Key Worker. But I'm a little bit dubious about getting beaten the way that she did by Olivia's Way. Olivia's Way looked like she was just about ready to win. I didn't think she'd beat Key Worker, but the way that she beat Key Worker, either Olivia's Way is improved out of sight, which is plausible, or Key Worker didn't improve as much as I thought she would from run 1 to run 2. So I'd like to see a little bit more of a step up before I can suggest that she's the horse that you can start some multiples into Hollywoodbets Durbanville with. Gavin Larina takes her out. You're probably right that the drop in distance for now is the right thing to do. I'd anticipate that she'll probably be the one that they all need to beat, and I am, like I said, tipping her on top. But I'm still a little bit skeptical whether she's made the sufficient improvement that I would like to have seen from her first start to her second start. So I've got number 2, Do It With Diamonds, in his backup. First run for Tony Peter, ex-Justin Snaith. Being by Silvano out of a Jetmaster mare, you would suggest that her best performances will come over further than 1,400 metres. This looks like a run to potentially set her up for the future. Her 2 runs over 1,200 metres at Hollywoodbets Durbanville were her worst runs. So she'd probably come into her own with runs under the belt. But I still think her form lines in Cape Town are good enough to give her some respect. Calvin Habib takes her out for Tony Peter. Just watch her closely. Sadly, by the time you get your bar pots, PAs and pick sixes on, you'll be too far gone. But if there is support for her and you don't have her in your play, just sort of consider her on the way down to the start and look closely at her from there.
2 and 14 the numbers in race number 5 for Alistair. Race number 6, this will be the final leg of the bar pot. It's an MR80 handicap over 1,800 meters. 3:30 is the off time. Favorite is number 10, A Festival of Magic, 6-1 into 4-1. Strewn Sky, 9-2, 5-1. Silvano's Song, Celtic Rush at 8-1, along with Gimme a Choice, and then it's 12-1. And Better Bar those. Now, I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on this race, because I think that this is a type of race that can produce a real result.
You're absolutely right, but I'm most keen on number 5, Vesuvio here, Raheel. He drops in distance, which is not in his favour. His run to Razor Hallelujah last time was very good because in front of him, obviously, Razor Hallelujah breezed over 2 leading contenders in the DSTV Gold Vase on Hollywoodbets Durbanville. He obviously came in with a very light weight. I'd like to think that he acquitted himself nicely. If he's able to get going in time over 1,800 metres, he's a big player. On the run to the brief, though, Strewn Sky's got him hulled to the tune of about 3 lengths. Vesuvio's got a very slight weight advantage, so I think Struenskar's probably going to hold his measure. But with that said, Struenskar's got the worst of the draws. I didn't think much of him, Struenskar, until he backed up his maiden win. I mean, he could only win his maiden beating Taxhaven, easily the most disappointing maiden in the country. But he backed it up with a good third behind the brief last time out. So he's coming to hand the son of Patala Palace, and clearly all he needed was a trip. And now you're seeing a lot more spark from this horse. So he's a horse that's definitely worth respecting and throwing into your play. And then my alternative, my third selection, my third inclusion is number 11, Silvano's Song, and Napila Sunday Oli, fourth Stuart Pettigrew. He doesn't win very often, 530 days, so from that perspective, he's not one to trust. But he's banging at the door. He's got some nice runs to some useful horses who would fit in very nicely and positively in a race of this nature. So from that perspective, number 11, Silvano's Song, also another horse not to let run loose as far as place accumulators, bar pots, and most certainly pick sixes are concerned. There are a few horses here that pop up on my radar. The reasons why I've left them out, I'm going to wait for another day. For Celtic Rush, got a very bad draw again. I'm waiting for this horse to get a draw. If he ran unstarted, came down a pound or two in the ratings, and then we got a good draw next time out, he's the type of horse that I'd look to have a good punt on. Leeson, I think that he's just looking for further than this, so this could set him up for the future. 13 Real Relief would probably be my next choice in this race. If you are looking for a fourth horse in the bar pot and looking for a nice quartet floater, could be number 13 Real Relief, who stayed on nicely at his last start behind Diesel Shadow.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, you've probably got to include number 13 Real Relief. Third up, I think now for Heather Adamson. Fourth up or fifth up, one of the two. But for a draw, and he seems to be coming to hand nicely. And at 16 to 1 in the market, it could just be a real lurker to include in the play. But Alice's top choice, Vesuvio, nice value at around 14 to 1. And he's a horse that certainly brings the right form to the table to win a race of this nature. But race 6 does look to be a very trappy contest over the 1800 meter trip. Race number 7, a middle stakes over 1000 meters. Favorite is number 7, Chasing Happiness at 2 to 1. 28 to 10 about Lincoln Navigator. Trumpy at 6 to 1. It's 7 to 1 about Far Away Winter, and then it's 8 to 1 and Better Bar Those. Now this filly Chasing Happiness, she won her last start, beating Elysia's Love, and she just managed to get the job done, fighting all the way to the line. This does look to be a slightly more competitive race though.
I agree. I'm a bit uneasy about this race, Rahil, but the clue that we've got is Gavin Lorena choosing to ride number 7, Chasing Happiness. He would have had the option of 3 other runners in this race, because Lawrence Verners has a share in number 3, Far Away Winter, and obviously Van Vuren and Verners with 5, Karangutang, and 6, Lincoln Navigator. And all 3 of those horses, I think, do have claims, but Lorena's gone with number 7, Chasing Happiness. So that's got to speak favourably about this daughter of Rafif. She is highly strung. She can break into an almighty sweat. She can do anything on race day. She can sort of lose her race before the race, so to speak, if she can get into a ball of nerves. But it looks like she's a better horse after her break. She's come to hand and she's running nicely and seems to be a little bit more reliable than she was early days. But I think number 3, Far Away Winter's got a bit of a prayer here, Rahil. Third run after a very long break. Ran to Thunderstruck in his first run back. He'll never beat Thunderstruck, because obviously Thunderstruck's been retired and Thunderstruck's just a better horse. But after a break, that was a good run. And last time, even though he was beaten when he got taken out, I think 4 3/4 lengths probably doesn't tell the exact story of the performance from Far Away Winter. He's not a bad little horse, the son of Water Winter, and as a 1000-meter horse, early days, he was extremely impressive. He did have serious breathing issues. It looks like since the break, he's kind of got over those adversities, and we'll straight him on board just to keep him balanced, keep him breathing, keep him in a good rhythm. He could be the one here, and at a bit of a price, I'm going to suggest an each-way play on number 3, Far Away Winter. If he doesn't win, 7, Chasing Happiness, possibly number 6, Lincoln Navigator, probably the 2 more reliable horses. But I think we're going to make a bit of money here with Far Away Winter. As far as a top 3 selection is concerned, Trifecta's put him in each way, definite play. He's the money maker in race 7.
Well, this was Trumpy. He must have a chance with the 4 off the back. He's got the right draw as well up the lane, and this apprentice Nirvana still is riding at the top of his game.
Yeah, we were actually talking about him on the golf course. Nervous Dilly 3 months ago looked like he wasn't going to get anywhere, and all of a sudden he's riding with a lot of confidence, as you say, thanks to trips down to PE, and he's doing the business up in Joburg as well. I've never been able to read Trompy. He's let me down on so many occasions. Second round after a long after a layoff. He can completely drop the bit and run a stinker of a race, and sometimes when he's in the mood, he can do just about anything. I think pound for pound, though, Far Away Wins is a better horse than Trompy, so that's my reading from that perspective.
Yeah, I respect your thoughts there on number 3, Far Away Winter, and the 1 horse Trompy, but 7-1, nice value there from Alistair, and let's see if Pierre Stradham can deliver the goods with the son of Water Winter. Race number 8, the final race on the day, 1,000 meters the trip, 16:40 is the off time. Master Casper, 15-10, favorite Gavin Larina, Johan Jatse van Vuren, it's 11-2 about Duke of Rock, Love Grass, 6-1 Cityscape, and then it's 8-1 and Better Bar Those. Now, this was Master Casper. Last time out, he was beaten by what looks to be a very progressive sort from the MJ Ordendal yard in the form of the Specialist. And I think this looks to be the right race for him to bounce back to winning ways, although that one draw, what do you make of it?
I don't make much of the one draw. I don't make much of the weight that it's a 2-year-old giving weight away. I mean, we've seen enough 2-year-olds now over the last few weeks beat the older horses, so we're at that time of the year where if they're good enough, they'll win. And Master Casper definitely has a lot of ability, half-brother to Master Archie. But giving weight away to these tried and tested older horses that have got wins under the belt is not going to be too easy for Master Casper. And off a rating of 96, which he earned for beating Wolf Mountain, who runs earlier on in the day, I don't know. This race doesn't sit well with me at all. I mean, this is the main reason why I didn't tip a pick 6 or place accumulator, because just about anything can happen. I think that number 2, Water Tiger, dropping back to 1,000 meters, the distance that he's got 3 of his 4 career wins could be quite dangerous. Interesting engagement with Pierre Stradham taking the ride for Fabian Habib. You don't see them too often. And I think number 3, Bob's a player. Stevie Donahue with his first trip up to Joburg. I'm sure he's looking forward to it. Takes a ride for Tony Peter. The son of William Longsword could also be a bit of a player. It's a race where you can make a case for anything. If you threw any name at me, I wouldn't be able to write them off. If I threw any name at you, they could run nasty and they could run unplaced. You'll want to go as deep as you can in the place accumulator and pick 6 just to be safe in this last leg. Hopefully the earlier races do a bit of justice for you.
Yeah, race number 8, I think it's either 1 or absolutely anything in the final race on the day. And it's all up to you how you're going to play race number 8. But let's move along to the suggested bet now. And Alistair will take us through his suggested bet, which is a bipod, and that commences with the running of race number 1 at 12:30 over the 1,400 meter trip. Alistair, take it away.
In that last race, number 8 in the Ether's a player as well. That's definitely got a good top 3 selection. Yep, so this bar pot that starts in race number 1, first leg, 2, 4, and 7, Bacchus, Diwali Rocket, and Milan's World. By banker number 6, Rodeo Drive. By 1 and 2, Pistol Pete or Bjorn Arns. I probably overplayed that a little bit. Leg 4, race 4, 1, There's a Light, 4, Hermitage, and then the 2 first timers, 9, Battle of the Belge, and also number 12, Dylan's Champ. Penultimate leg on 2 and 14, Do It with Diamonds and Key Worker. And then to wrap the bar pot up, this is where I think we're going to make a bit of ground. Number 2, Strewn Sky, 5, Vesuvio, and 11, Silvano's Song. If you're looking for one other, would be number 13, Real Relief.
That is Alistair Cohen's bar pot for racing on Sunday out at Turffontein. Alistair, thanks very much for your time and for your insights into racing on Sunday out at Turffontein. Just a quick one for you. Apart from the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, which race are you looking forward to on Saturday, the 6th of July?
I'll probably answer this differently on Saturday, the 6th of July, but I'm really looking forward to the Durban Golden Horseshoe with Truth and Cosmic Speed, the Terry Horse Proceed as well. I think that sets up to be a lovely race. I'll be a ball of nerves when they start loading. Make no mistake, I'll probably close my eyes and pray for the result rather than look forward to it. But right now, a week out, I'm really looking forward to that race. I think that'll be good.
Yeah, let's not forget Great Plains in the race as well, and he's a horse that certainly come good here in KZN. Great Plains for Justin Snake, but it's certainly going to be an absolute humdinger of a race. And all the best with racing on Sunday out at Turffontein. Hopefully you manage to make yourself a bit of cash.